I'm on Instagram at I go by Savad. That's IGOBYSIVAAD. You can find my music on Apple Music under Savad. Hair care line is blackoftheberryco.com. There you can get all of your hair care products and your beard too. I see you, Jarrell. Might
But
need
yeah,
to hit
just
me up.
yeah, I need to hit you up. I need to hit you up.
Sure.
You can find me on Facebook, Jarrell Allen. Also AMC Photography 305, or also a Moment Created Photography on Facebook. On Instagram, you can find me at AMC Photography _ 305, JJ Designs 305 on Instagram as well. And my personal page is j.allen 305 on Instagram. I don't have Twitter, so.
Okay. So make sure y'all go like, follow them. Make sure y'all go support Dan and buy some of his hair care products. Go and support Jarrell and book a a photo shoot. Do some custom designs. I don't know if y'all see my Symone Talk shirt, but I got that done a couple years ago, and it's still good. I'm not gonna lie, it's still in good standing. So make sure y'all go show them some support. As y'all know, tonight, we're talking about the reality of a man. All month long, we talked about different topics. We talked about vulnerability of a man. We talked about the value of a black man. We talked about the expectations of a man. We talked about the real pressures of the man. Now it's time to talk about the reality. Like, we have all of these expectations. We have all of these things that we feel that a man should be. But what is the real reality of a man? Why is my stuff freezing? Hold up. Let me turn my Wi-Fi off. Reality of a man. Hey, Nakesia. So, Jarrell, I want to start with you first. As you said 126. What the freak?
You're going in and out.
It's loading back. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened, but it came back.
Yeah,
can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, so in Genesis 1:26, it says that, and I quote, "Let us make men in our image after our likeness." So, as I'm gonna call you Jarrell, not Pastor Brad tonight. Jarrell, do you feel that as men, the reality that y'all are giving is based on people being created in the image and the likeness of God? Or do you feel like the reality of a man has been shifted since what we've seen in the Bible when it comes to like worldly things?
It's been shifted extremely. And I can even go by just what I just stated earlier about when I say I love you as a man. Society have taught us, say pause or no homo or anything to that nature, because as a male, we're limited on the things we can say. We're limited on the things we can do because of what society have said about us. Society have said, or you can't be a male and have and be sensitive. You can't be a male and have emotions. You're supposed to be a male and don't show no emotions. Like I think I said when we was on live before, a male we're looked at as, if we're taught growing up in sports, if you hurt, don't let the other team see you're hurt, or don't let them see you sweating. So it's like, as a male, we have been taught, or we have came to a mindset where all we do is put on a face to make society look at us a certain way. So I feel like, to answer the question, I feel like we are made in God's image, but society have formed us in a different image. If that makes sense. Yeah, we're still made in God's image, but we have been formed differently than what God has intended us to be, or how God looks at us, or looking like the image of God because of society.
So I want to pick it up back off that. Then I actually want to ask you this same question, because I see your post on TikTok. I see your post, so I want to ask you this same question. Okay. But you say that the world has shifted the form. Do you feel that the biggest impact in that shift has to do with women, culture, social media? Like, what do you feel is a part of that biggest shift as far as the form of what the reality of a man should look like?
I personally don't think that it's one main issue. It's all of it. honestly, because women we're taught, kind of growing up, like I was saying earlier, about being tough and being strong. We got to be this, we got to be that. So we're taught to be providers. We're taught to be to carry our wives or carry a woman or to be protective. What woman want a sensitive man protecting her? So I feel like that's one area for women. Then another area with society. Society is, when you out there and you're in the world, you're doing what you got to do. It falls back on. You can't show your emotions when you're around your friends, you're around your homeboys. You can't open up with them and tell them, "Oh man, I'm going through this." Because first thing you're gonna do is say is stop being a punk or stop. I don't know if I can say that on here. I'm sorry, but
You can say that.
stop being a punk or stop being, a pussy. They say those things to us growing up. I didn't say the word. You know, but I say that because that is real. That's real. That's real from what we're get growing up. So it's like and when it comes down to social media, social media have brought so much. It has become so much more worse since social media, because a lot of people, and I can say it, I'm being honest. My testimony to that little part is I have felt victim to social media, because people say, "Oh, if you're not doing this or if you're not living this way by a certain age, you haven't amount to anything." So at one point, I felt as if belittled as a male. I kind of used to tell my wife, "Babe, I'm sorry, I can't." I got married at 23, and I started with social media, and it was kind of like with certain things, like if I couldn't afford to pay for something, "Oh, you shouldn't ask your wife for help with the bills. You shouldn't do this." So I started taking out loans behind my wife's back without telling her. I'm being transparent. I did those things, and because of that, it brought a red. It kind of brought forth like strife in my household because I wasn't telling my wife. And then when I have to pay the loan back and my paycheck come up short, I had to make up lies. "Oh no, my job ain't paying me all the way this month." That's what I told her. Even though I got paid my full amount, but I had to pay $500 to $700, $800 towards that loan that I took out without telling my wife about it. So I'm not gonna go more, but that I feel like with all three that you stated, society, females, and social media, I really think all three have played a very important part with the with forming men instead of forming men in God's image.
Mm.
I could definitely agree. I'm not gonna lie to you. I agree with that, but I'm gonna keep my opinions until the end. Hey everyone that's coming in, I just want to say real quick, make sure you like, share, and comment. If you have any questions or any comments that you have as we talk, make sure you throw in the comment section because I will go through towards the end or the middle and read your comments and will respond. So then I want to ask you the same thing. The Bible says that we were all created in God's image and in his likeness. Do you feel that the reality of a man has strayed away from the image and likeness in which y'all were created under God?
Mm. Okay. So the way I see it is more like a house, like how you start your foundation. If your foundation isn't on the word of God, then you're going to be led astray.
Mm-hmm.
So when we go into the word and it talks about, like you said, let us make man in our image, it's talking about male and female, not just male.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
and then when you continue to read a little bit further, it talks about what our purpose is. Our purpose is to have dominion over the creatures of the world, all of the garden, the everything, the land. We're supposed to have dominion over that. And when it comes down to our roles and all of that, the Bible talks about that as well. But we basically, because of the serpent deceiving Eve, we have deceiving Eve and Adam. We have everything from there on has been tainted. Our whole, and if we don't continue to read and learn for ourselves, then our foundation is going to be shaky.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna follow after the world and follow after our own desires, where we're not even supposed to be doing that. We're supposed to be having dominion over the world, and then also glorifying him, because we are the image bearer. Whether you're a believer or not, you're an image bearer. Now, what you do with that, that's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
All right. So do you feel that, so even like looking at the Bible, do you feel like the reality of what God feels men should be and how they should carry themselves have shifted versus what the world says men should be? Or do you feel like
Oh, you breaking up?
it's all this? I was breaking up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're going in and out again.
Okay. Satan, I rebuke you. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Is that better?
It's going in and out again.
Oh my goodness. Hold up.
Whatever you just did, it seemed like it made it a little better
Yeah.
because we can see you now.
How's that? Is that
Sounds
better?
good.
Or
Yeah.
am I still going in and out?
No, you good.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question was that, do you feel like when looking at the Bible and studying the Bible, do you feel like when it comes to men, because let's just be honest, it's just time to I'm breaking up again. I can see it on screen. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you feel like when it comes to men, as far as like, oh my gosh, when it comes to men, do you feel like the identity in which the reality of a man should be has shifted away from God's word?
Yes, for sure. We can blame that on whoever, but yes, it has shifted. Um, just like what Jarrell said, we're not really programmed, or not programmed. We're not taught to show our emotions, and um, we're not taught to we're not taught to open up at all. And then when we get older, we find a woman and she wants us to open up, and we're like, dang, I've been closed off for 28 years. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So like now we're going into uncharted territory because we haven't cultivated our emotional side. We haven't done that at all. And now we have to learn and relearn how to be able to effectively communicate our emotions. Um,
Right.
I think one thing for myself personally, I've learned that suppression of emotion is not self control. For me, I when I always thought of being self control, I thought that meant suppressing your emotion, and that's not the case. Um, it's more of saying, look, this is how I feel, but not reacting um, irrationally, and being respectful of the people that you love, and even people that you don't know, um, but still effectively communicating that emotion. So
Right. I agree that you should not suppress your feelings, especially as a man, because I feel like because it's seen as, oh, you're supposed to be the provider, or you're supposed to be strong, or you're supposed to be this, suppressing your emotions. And a lot of times people think suppressing your emotions is a good thing, but it's like pushing and creating a breaking point. And you both have actually talked on being strong and being a man. So I want to ask this question, and this question comes from, I guess, last week, DJ Nightpool. What do you consider to be a strong man? And this is for both of you.
I'm sorry, you froze. I didn't hear the last part.
What do you consider to be a strong man?
Okay, are you asking me that, or Jarrell
It's
first?
for both of you, but we can start with you first, Dan.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, I believe that being a strong man is definitely being the provider. That doesn't mean that I'm the only provider of the household, but I am the head of the household. It's God, it's me, my wife, and then the kids. So
Hmm.
we can debate all day whether that's right or wrong, or look, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
It's
what it
right.
is. That's the
What it
hierarchy.
is. It's what
So
it is.
and really really, yeah, so that that's where I'm going to start, knowing the actual order of family, and then also, like I was saying before, being able to effectively communicate. You have to be a good communicator. You can't say, oh, because I'm the man, I do whatever I want, or this is how it goes. No, there has to be a why behind everything. You have to answer, and you have to answer that to your wife and to your kids. You can't just go out here saying, oh, I'm the man, blah blah blah. That's not what it is. So you have to be able to effectively communicate. Also, when we talk about being a reflection of God, we're also being a reflection of Jesus. Jesus wasn't just out here condemning people. He wasn't just out here going off on people. He was doing things out of love and out of grace too. That's another thing. It seems like nowadays we have no grace. We're ready to cancel people and never forgive them. No, we have to. As a man, you also have to be a servant. That's all right. I'm done after that. As a man, you also have to be a servant of your household, and that's a great leader is always going to be a servant first. Jesus was a servant. Jesus was a servant of his disciples. He was a servant of the world by dying on the cross and for our sins. So we should be a reflection of that, and we should serve our households. All right, I'm done.
He preached. He preached.
I was going to say, okay.
Now time for the altar call. Altar call. Come ye.
Let's get an offering up here.
Oh, we need an offering, everything. Tithes and offering, bring them to the storehouse. We need it now. I agree wholeheartedly with the structure. I feel that being a strong man, you have to know structure. You have to know order. You have to walk in wisdom. And structure, order, and wisdom starts with the head, which is God, then us, and then the wives being the neck. And I think being a strong, one thing that I've learned, this is me personally, I've been married now, March 8th that just passed, made 7 years. Nice. And one of the things I learned is that when your wife being the neck turn, Negro, you better turn. You better turn. Because I've learned that, with my wife, me being the head, I see a lot. But the wives, they sit back and they pay attention and they watch certain things. And I feel in the aspect of this being a strong man is somebody, as he stated, somebody who serves, but also somebody who can submit. Yes. Because the thing is, a lot of men, we've come to a place of pride where we can't submit. And I feel like submission, growing up or being raised, is like being submissive has turned to, like we said earlier, the word punk. Oh, you a punk, you this, you that, because you're doing this, X, Y, and Z. But reality is being submissive. Yeah. And being submissive has a lot to do with dying to pride. And I feel like a strong man is somebody who's willing to die to pride, somebody who's willing to die to self, somebody who's not afraid to get dirty in a good way. When I say get dirty in a good way, I kind of mean like they not afraid, as he said, serve. Not afraid to get out there, get their hands dirty. They're not afraid to get out there and make things happen. But also, a strong man ain't afraid to sit back and let stuff come to him. Let stuff happen. Just relax. Let your wife say she got it. Let her take care of it. Don't try to be so protective or overprotective. And once again, that's something that I have learned, and I'm still learning. I'm learning to do those things. I'm learning, and I feel like what we talked about, the first question, a strong man know how to show his emotions. I'm going to stop after this. I'm going to follow the lead of the preacher. I'm going to follow the lead.
No, you got it.
I've learned that, a strong man knows how to show emotions and also deal with their emotions. Because if you're like you were saying, Symone, holding that stuff in, that can bring forth sickness, that can bring forth certain diseases and different things that you don't want. It brings forth unwanted tension, unwanted stress that you don't have to deal with when you hold that emotion. And I'm done. I'm gonna stop like the preachers did. I'm gonna just stop.
Listen, I'm gonna say my little spiel, and then we're gonna go into the next thing. Next month is Mental Health Awareness Month for minorities. Tomorrow, actually, is April the 1st. And as y'all know, I'm a big mental health advocate, so I'm gonna throw this out there. But it's just like Jarrell said, as a man, as women, we're giving the leeway to express our emotions, to be emotional, but we're not given the leeway to be angry at times and to be aggressive or to be solid and firm in what we believe. But I said all that to say, as a man and me studying mental health and being an advocate, it's a lot of things, like a lot of triggers are like the reality we think a man should be, like losing sleep. A man's supposed to lose sleep because he's supposed to work all these hours, barely eating, drinking or smoking away their problems, feeling hopeless and helpless. These are signs of mental health. Like these are warning signs. And this is the reality that we're pushing. Oh, you're a man, so all of these things, cross them off, throw them away. You can't have them. And it's just like what you're saying is, so I'm supposed to be sick. I'm supposed to be hurt. I'm supposed to be bitter. And this is supposed to be my reality as a man. And as a mental health advocate, I have to say that that is not true. It is not okay for a man to feel like he has to be sick or he has to be any of these things for him to be strong or for it to be a reality of what we want and of not what it should be.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on that. So my next question is, and this doesn't have to be like this doesn't have to be like a thing as being a husband. It could be a thing as being a friend or being a brother or being a son. What are some false realities do y'all feel that's put on a man outside of, you can speak on marriage, you can speak on friendships, whatever. What are false realities you feel that are put on men versus the real reality of what a man is when it comes to different things in life?
Um, one false reality I feel that is put is, trying to think, is like, it's like that men, for example, men are not supposed to cry. I can start with that one. And I feel like that's so false. I feel like it's so false.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that, Symone, April 24th last year I lost my mom. And as a male, I was told, well, as a male, other males around me I was seeing wasn't crying, or I know males who lost their family members, they didn't cry in front of people, or if they cried in silence, or they cried behind closed doors. And I feel like that's false, because if we want to talk about the Bible, Jesus wept. So it's
Yes,
like,
he
who
did.
am I to say I'm not going to cry? The Bible talks about there's a time and a place for everything. There's
Mm-hmm.
a time to mourn. There's a time to cry. So in that time of crying, you telling me that I'm not man enough because I'm crying about a loved one, or not even about death. You hurt my feelings. I'm about to go cry. You disappointed me. I'm in pain. I'm finna go cry. So I'm talking in bonnets, finna. I'm going to go cry. So it's like the reality, growing up, one of my favorite artists still to this day is Life Jennings.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that Life Jennings said is, he says that man ain't supposed to cry. That's one of his songs. But in the song, he said that crying is like taking to your soul to a laundromat. And I didn't understand that until I got older. And I had to sat back and I thought about it. Going to a laundromat, what happens? You take your dirty clothes, you wash them, then
Mm-hmm.
you dry them, and then you take them out. And I feel like as a man, that's what we're supposed to do. Whatever's on the inside of us that's dirty, when we cry, we're releasing that. We're releasing those tears. We're releasing the anger, the frustration, the bitterness, the grief. We're releasing those things. And once we're
Definitely.
done, we wipe. That's us throwing our clothes in the dryer, wash our face. We good, and now we move forward. We go back out into the world and we do it all over again. Hopefully this time we learned our lesson that we don't have to cry no more. But at the same time, we go back into the world and do what we need to do. And I feel like that's something that has been so false, that you're not supposed to cry, that you're not supposed to share any tears, or you're not supposed to show emotions. And I feel like that has to do with everyday life, no matter what you're doing in life. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay to cry. It's okay
Yeah.
for a man to have those emotions of tears, because it's reality. Reality is we all cry. If that's the case, when we was born, the doctor wouldn't slap a man on a boy on his butt to make him cry. But that's is a reality. Crying is an emotion that needs to uh tears are emotions that need to be released. It's not meant to be held in. If it was meant to be held in, we'll be crying eternally all our lives, everybody. But it's meant for us to be released. It shows, crying is like showing it's outwardly. Crying is, some people look at, you got that ugly cry, or oh, she crying bougie. It's so many different tears, but for us internally, crying is like a freedom, is a release, is an emotion that we're releasing. However you decide to
Vacation for
cry,
the
I feel
soul.
like as a man, we should be told, bro, it's okay to cry. If you want to scream to cry, cry. If you want to just sit there and give me that ugly cry, bro, cry. Whatever you need to do to cry, bro, let it out, and it's okay. And I feel like that's, yeah.
I agree. I'm not gonna lie. I agree that men are seen as don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. It's like you said, Jesus wept.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus wept. He wept a lot in the Bible.
Yeah.
So if Jesus
And
can wept, why can't men cry? Like he was a
and
man.
I got a perfect example. I'm sorry, Simone. When was this? Monday, I was with one of my little cousins. He's in middle school. And it was me and his grandfather. We were sitting outside talking. And I was like, hey, you got a girlfriend? And he was like, no. And his granddad was like, oh yeah, she dumped him. So I was like, cuz, you cry? He was like, no, I didn't cry. I said, cuz, it's okay, you can cry. We all cry. I feel like every man every dude on earth have cried over one female in their life. And
Mhm.
the thing is, thank you. And the thing is, society have taught us that, oh, you're not supposed to cry with a female. So him at that age, and I feel like at that age, we all did that. Nah, bro, I ain't cry, bro, I ain't cry, because we trying to put on for our friends. But I feel like if this generation get that concept, it's like it will be okay. It will be so more honesty in this world. We lie too much and say we don't cry.
Hmm.
I agree. I definitely agree. I feel like men, and you said something. You said, because I was studying it today while I was working on my mental health stuff. You said it's an everyday thing. Every day y'all wake up and do the same thing. The same. You wake up, you go, then you try to make sure. Oh, let me be strong. Oh, let me go to work. Oh, let me come home. Oh, gotta be a husband. Oh, gotta be a father. Oh, gotta be a brother. Oh, can't show emotions. Oh, can't do this. It's just like when does the reality kick in that life happens? When does that reality kick into everybody else that life happens? And I don't want women to take this the wrong way, but sometimes it happens to men harder and stronger than it happens to us because we don't have to walk around in fear that the police might shoot us. We don't have to walk around in fear that we're seen as a threat. We don't have to walk around with all of we do have to walk around for certain things, but to for it to be as detrimental as the significance and the power that a black man possesses, I'm gonna be honest, it's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
I can't lie. It's a difference in the things we face as women that we can handle as the things that men face that they can handle. And I know my stuff is breaking up again. But Dan, I'm gonna go ahead and let you answer the question as well. What are some false realities you feel that are put on men versus what the real realities of a man is? And it could be in any form, relationship, friendships, all of it.
Hmm. Okay. I think one is that men don't have weakness.
Mm, I feel
Um,
you there.
and I know for a lot of men, our weakness is sexual temptation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's real. Um, uh, I ain't gonna go into my testimony, but anyway,
No, go
yeah,
ahead. No, this
sexual.
no this we on
Uh,
Jerry. Listen, be real, be raw, be transparent. This is what this is about. Don't hold back on nothing.
okay. Well, I had a really bad. I'm gonna make it plain. I had an addiction to pornography, and I'm
I
just being
did too.
real with
I did too.
you. Yeah. So, and it started from an adolescent,
Child,
like
yeah.
child, like super young, and it continued. It continued year after year after year. Got bigger. The appetite got bigger, and I suppressed that with any girl that I dated. Never told them about that, and but it showed in different ways. I was looking at women as objects in a sense, for real, um, and it really changed my whole view on women. Um, but by the grace of God, I am delivered. But but for sure, like men have weaknesses,
Yeah.
and they might not tell you unless you're that one. Like my wife knows, and um, it's something that we have accountability with each other, and I think that's something that this is something different, but that has a lot to do with uh, admitting your weakness, is being able to be comfortable with somebody to admit that weakness. And we're again, it's all going back to we're taught to close that off. We're not taught to, and even like with the whole pride thing, like my pride got in the way, and I was just like, hey man, everybody do this, like it's
Hmm.
cool. But then you start seeing the residue from that, and how in every relationship you're wanting something that ain't even real. You're wanting
Mhm.
something that's a fantasy. So yeah, men have weaknesses, and I'm done.
Yeah, I agree.
Y'all only have one each as a man. You only have one false reality.
No, it's
Come
so many
on.
false. It's so many false
Yeah,
realities. So it's like we can literally be here all day, like just
I
thinking
got another.
about. Go ahead.
I got another one.
Hmm.
Uh, and this goes back to the whole weakness thing. Well, this is the weak. This is another weakness. That men are just comfortable with how we look.
Mm.
Like I know women are taught to look beautiful and all of that, but dudes, especially nowadays, we have a standard that we're supposed to look a certain way, six pack, dieseled up, all of that. Like, and that goes back into that goes back into I'm sorry. That goes back into being a reflect. Like when I talk about being a reflection of God, I'm talking inwardly. I'm not talking outwardly. And the it's
Mhm.
tainted because we substitute the inward for the outward. But
Mhm.
that's yeah. So that's another thing that I think people don't understand, is that some men are a little bit more self conscious than others about how they look.
Hmm.
But that's also a thing that I don't think people understand is a stigma for men.
Yeah, I
All right,
agree.
so
I agree.
I have my
Um,
own. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no,
Go
no,
ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
So I have my own false realities that I looked up that I'm going to have y'all give y'all piece on. So some false realities that I've done research on is how media portrays men as shiftless, violent, and to be and not to be trusted.
You said
So
shiftless, violent, and
That
not
we're,
to be
we're
and not to
that,
be
trusted.
that we're
trusted.
dogs and thugs, basically.
Actually, that's what I
Yes.
was actually getting ready to say.
Oh
I
well, go
actually was going to
ahead.
talk
Go
about
ahead,
that.
Pastor Red.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that especially as a black male, I'm gonna start there.
Yeah.
Um, that as a black male, we're automatically looked at as thugs. We automatically looked at as dogs. We all men cheat. I hate that one. Um, we have. I can go on and on, but I'm gonna just stop there because growing up as a black male, I've been stopped by police. I done been thrown on police cars. I done
Mm.
had guns put in my head by the police. Told me if I move, blowing my head off. So many different things. And like, it was one time I got pulled over, and I literally had to tell the officer. It was an undercover cop, and he pulled me and somebody over. And when he pulled us over, he was like, why when I came up behind you, you sped up? I said, first of all, you are in a all black Impala in this neighborhood. I don't know who you are.
Exactly.
I sped up because I know what happens when black Impalas or certain cars ride up on you a certain way. So I sped up to let you know that I know what you're doing. He was like, but what was the person putting under the seat? I said, first of all, sir, we didn't know you was an officer, so why are we hiding drugs or anything from somebody we don't know? I had to literally let the officer know that, sir, you're telling me that we sped because we knew you was an officer, and then you said that we put something under the seat because we knew you was an officer, but yet you in an undercover car. You in an undercover car that's unmarked, and you don't even have on a normal uniform. You got on a regular collar shirt with your gun and badge, everything on your belt. How can I see that? So what I'm running from you for? So I feel like, and I had to literally talk to him, and he put the other person in handcuffs, and I had to say, sir, you need to release him from handcuffs. Thank God that I was cool, calm, and collective. He let the person go, released us, didn't give us no tickets or anything. But I feel like he automatically, when he jumped out of the car, I'm sorry, let me start from there. When he jumped out of the car, he jumped out with his gun drawn already on us. Officer, why you got your gun drawn on me? I didn't know you was an officer till you turn on your light. I ain't do nothing wrong. Why is your gun drawn? You feel automatically you got to feel like you got to protect yourself. And I feel like automatically as a black male, two black males in a car, we automatically looked at as we're aggressive, or we are endangerment to the environment or to the people around us. And I feel like there's a lot of upstanding black males. There's a lot of us that are not, I feel like there's a lot of people that's even living that quote unquote that life that really want to not live that life like that.
Yeah.
But they're forced to that because of what their environment, unfortunately, is what's around them, unfortunately. And I feel like that I would say that false stigma, or that black man is this, is a lie.
Yeah.
It is a lie. Even if I feel like, even if those that are in prison, there's still some good in them. Those that selling drugs, it's still some good in them. I'm not going to get into all that because I feel like as black men, we're looked at as so negative that I used to work at the juvenile facility when I moved here to Jacksonville. And I looked at one of the little boys, well, actually all the boys, and I said, some of y'all never heard this. I'm a black male. I'm going to look you in your face and let you know I love you. The black boy looked at me and said, I never heard that, not from my uncle or from my dad or none of my uncles. You know how bad that hurt me? Because we're afraid to go to that level. Oh, I love you. Or another thing, these kids, they have a lot of mentors, but their mentors are the drug dealers, the big dope boys in the hood. So what do they have to look for? They don't have nobody teaching them, bro, you can make it out the hood. You don't need sports. You don't need basketball, football only to make it out. You don't have to rap to only make it out the hood. You can make it out the hood by doing a whole bunch of different stuff. You got all this talent. You can build a house if you want to. You got some of these little boys that can get some friends and literally build a house by themselves. And a house have structure and have everything you need, but they're not taught that. So I feel like a lot of us growing up, the stigma of being no good or being dogs is brought to us because the older generation that's in front of us, nobody turned around and reached out to help us. And I feel like that's the biggest stigma. And I'm gonna even stop there. I feel like that's the biggest stigma. That men, black men, men in general, We don't know how to do this.
Mm, yeah.
We're crabs in a bucket because we feel like that, oh, if I made it, you can do it yourself. No, reach back and grab that person, pull them up with you. I'm gonna stop there because I can go on and on about that. I'm sorry.
I, I got one more example before you go, Simone. But to your sentiment about we're not thugs and we're seen as thugs. That's not only in America. That's
Across the
international.
world. Yeah.
I was stationed in Korea back in 2018. I'm sorry, yeah, 2018, and I remember I think I was at the mall or something like that, and I got on the elevator. I was with some of my Korean nationals. They were in the military with us, and we were like, oh, we're gonna go to the mall. I'm gonna learn the whole Korean culture or whatever. So we get on the elevator, and we were supposed to go up to like the fifth floor. We get to the fourth floor, and this like elderly Korean lady is about to get on. She's looking down, but she's about to get onto the elevator. She looks up and looks at me and runs off. When I tell you, like, but again, this goes back to the whole suppress your emotion. Like, inside I was like, dang, for real, it's like that. So I talked to them, and they were like, "Yeah, all of the movies that we've ever seen, y'all was like, drug dealers, thugs, bang bang, shoot 'em up type dudes." Until they saw, and crazy enough, until they saw the movie Black Panther, and they was like, "Oh man, black people are really like they're really good, solid people." But yeah, no, it's not just in America; it's worldwide.
Yeah.
That is
And it's
terrible.
sad too, like that movies, like you said about society. I'm sorry, Simone. Like society and social media, it goes beyond that. It goes to movies as
Mm-hmm.
well. Like you stated, it's like if you can find, like my wife and I, like I love TV. I love watching movies, and like you can find the whitest movie, and the one game banger in the movie happens to be the only black person in the movie.
Yeah,
Why? Why? What's the point of that? Like, why do we always have to be portrayed as the thug or the banger or
Right.
the person that's ready to rob, kill, and shoot? And I'm gonna just
I
leave it at
agree.
that.
I agree. I'm not gonna lie to you. Y'all touched on some great points. Like, it's because even the guest last week, DJ Nightclub, he was talking about how he walked past women and they'll hold their purse and all of these things, and it's just like the media and so many other things have portrayed the reality of a
Mm,
man to be, especially in movies, let's just in TV shows. Most of them portray a black man to be a cheater. Let's just be honest. They portray a black man to be a cheater, a abuser, a liar, a thug. Like they portray all of these things, and then when it comes to relationships, women's expectations is, oh, you're going to be this terrible person. So I already know how you're coming because of what I've seen or what I've been through. So go ahead and just come in, and I know how to act and move accordingly. And I feel like that's just terrible. I feel like we can change it, but it takes a lot of work and constantly, like you said, Darrell, for a man, and I don't think people understand this. As women, we have to understand. As much as we want to reach a man and talk to a man, sometimes it's easier for another man to reach out and talk to that man and have that impact that we want to have because as a woman, yes, we understand this, and that. We want the best for them, but no one can tell a man how to be a man or how to feel about something as a man other than a man. Like
yeah,
we could talk until our face turns blue or purple, but we're not men. And I've had to learn that men, it's easier for men to be like, oh yeah, you went through this, you went through that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna take your opinion over listening to a woman because y'all have similar emotions, y'all have similar trials and tribulations that y'all go through. And I think that once men understand that it's not soft or it's not bad to reach back for someone or else or to reach out to another man, that reality and stigmas can possibly change because if you reached out to him and he reached out to him and he reached out to him and you're reaching out to all these people, you're shifting the dynamic of what we see and the impact that people have in their lives. So I
Sure.
totally agree, and I can't believe it. Honestly, Dan, that's crazy. I'm not gonna lie, that is like because from what I've heard, I'm not gonna lie, like our brother, he's stationed in Korea right now, and he's like, oh, they love black men over here. They love black. Like I've
The
always
the,
heard that
the, the
other
younger
cultures.
the younger generation, they mess with us. But like the older ones, oh nah, not at all.
Oh wow.
That's weird. I'm not gonna lie, because I've always heard that other cultures like Japan and Koreans, they always love black men. Like once they come there, they try to take them in as their own. So I'm really shocked to hear that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie to you. But I'll touch on the other one is that men do have fears and insecurities. That's one of the false realities is that we think men don't have fears, don't have insecurities. Um, I do have a question. When it comes to reality, let's just be real. Some men can easily express their emotions, and others have issues with coming to what's the word I'm looking for? Coming to an understanding of the emotions that they feel. So let's take out women and let's go back to home life. When it comes to reality of a man, how do you feel your home life with your siblings, with your mom, with your aunts, with your cousin? How do you feel like that formed or played a part in your reality as a man?
mhm.
Dan, you can go
Mhm.
first.
Okay.
But
So I grew up with both of my parents to this day. However, they are separated. So growing up, I as a child, my parents were together, and my dad always I'm the oldest, so my dad was always like, "Yo, look, you the oldest. You gotta set an example for your brother and your sister." Okay, cool. Once the whole split and everything happened, then that turned into all right. Now you the man of well, how I saw it was all right. Now you the man of the house. So, I never saw my parents argue or get upset with each other. So to me, I guess for me that made it even harder for me to express my emotions. Um yeah, and I thought I thought I was the man of the house. I remember trying to get a job to pay bills and stuff. I'm like for real. I thought I was the man of the house, and that that matriculated into my adulthood where it's still hard for me to express my emotions. And if I do, I try to do it in a way um that's not toxic or that isn't irrational. So yeah,
Right.
yeah. I don't know where Jarrell went.
Wow.
Disappeared.
Yeah, I don't know where he went either.
Oh,
sorry, I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. I was
yeah,
trying to fix it. I don't know what happened. It keep going in and out. Sorry. Can y'all hear me?
yeah.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
not
now we
sure what
can.
happened. Hold on. Let me see if I can turn it. It keep going back to private. So can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So I feel for me personally, I'm the opposite. I'm the
Mm,
youngest. I'm the
okay.
baby boy. So for me, growing up, it was more so that um, I had to try to fit in with my older siblings, and
Mm,
I feel like that me being the youngest, I also was the youngest cousin out of all my cousins at that moment. So it was
Mm-hmm.
like whenever my brother would go with my older cousins, I had to stay home because I'm too young. I'm the baby boy. I'm young. I stayed with grandma. That was my baby. That was my best friend. Grandma made sure I was good at all the time. And I feel like for me, that kind of like with my parents, it was kind of like they looked at me as the baby boy, but it was also they looked at me like, oh, you need to mature faster because you're around all these older people. So I felt
Mm-hmm.
like for me, I kind of wasn't given the opportunity at times to figure out my emotions because
mm,
I'm always seeing everybody around me. Nobody's crying. Nobody's acting the way I'm acting. Nobody's dealing with emotions how I'm dealing with emotions. So I suppress my emotions.
Mm.
And I was also told, like I said, about being the part. I was the youngest, so I cried the most.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was looked at, oh, you need to stop crying. You need to man up. You need to do this, do that.
We give you something to
So
cry about.
yeah, yeah. So it was like I kept going to a place where it was like I didn't want to deal with my emotions. I felt as if my emotions made me weak. So I kind of
Mm.
became, or I started putting on a image of something that somebody or something that I wasn't, because I didn't want to be betrayed that way in the household. I got tired of, being told, oh, you're this, you're that, because I cried, because nobody else, I ain't have nobody. I ain't have nobody else to vent to. I ain't have nobody else to run around the yard in. I did it by myself. So
Mm.
I feel like that's really what kind of, yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah, so,
then your reality was you the man of the house. Your
yeah,
reality was you the youngest, but you still gonna grow up and be the man.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
we
You
came to the
like you
same
gotta be before
conclusion
yeah.
your
then.
time.
It came to the same
Wow.
conclusion, but I think the difference with us was like, being the oldest, which I can't imagine being the oldest, 'cause I'm not the oldest. It's kind of like it was something that was forced upon.
Mm.
Mine was more so a learned behavior
Mm.
because of people. So
Right.
I feel like either way, it's if you look at it, it's unfair
Right. I
as
agree.
a child,
Mm.
because we're not taught, like we said earlier, we're taught different. Like you say, take females out the occasion, but we're taught different from females. Females are taught how to be to get a baby doll and how to nurture it, how
Mm.
to dress it, how to do this. We're taught to go cut the grass. We're taught to go do this, go outside and play all day, be in the sun, and don't let the sun beat you home type thing. That's
Yeah.
what we're taught. We're taught to go get dirty, come back home, take a shower, and get ready for dinner. So I feel like as a male, we have to try to figure out a way to turn the scenario around, or turn the table somewhere to let the kid know it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. I definitely agree. But you said we talk baby dolls and y'all talk to go and mow the lawn. I feel like those are both like set behaviors that are
Yeah,
portrayed on us because as a woman, it's more to us than just being a mother and being a wife. Like we should have our own identity. Just
of
like with the
course.
men, it's more to y'all than being portrayed as a thug or emotionalist or
Hmm.
all these things because it's more like I don't think people understand your identity is deeper than what your title is supposed to be.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's why I say we need to turn it, not just for men but females as well. Because for perfect example, my wife, she was here, she'll tell y'all. My wife is a tomboy at heart. My wife,
She in the
she don't.
comments.
She's in the comments. Hey
Yeah.
boo. Hey boo. So I feel like as a wife, my wife being a tomboy is like at times like okay, I'm gonna say it like this. We talking about men. So when me and my wife first got married, my wife, it was certain times where my wife, she will be okay with just being at the house chilling. We get up, we go somewhere. But as a male, we're taught a certain thing when it comes down to how women's supposed to look or how women's supposed
Mm.
to act, things that women's supposed to do. So I kind of was like, hold on, player, like I don't want a roommate. Like I need you to go put on something sexy and come sit next to me. What
Mm.
you got on some? Why you chilling the way I'm chilling? I can't like, and I had to realize that's not who she is. First,
Yeah.
for one,
Yeah.
for two, that's not her identity. Three, I'm putting her in the same scenario or the same thing that what we're talking about. Oh, you need to go play with Barbie dolls. No, that's not who she is.
Mm.
So now I'm at a place now where I accepted her that way. Me and her, we'll go sit out there and we'll wrestle, and we don't have to do nothing sexual, but we'll wrestle just as she one of my homeboys, and still love on each other.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? So I feel like when we get to that reality of letting go of the stigmas, or this is what reality is, or this is what this is, think life become more easier.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah,
Then you get it.
I'm a little bit different. Like my wife, she's a little bit more on the girlier side. And again, I was in the military, so in the military, well, at least when I first got in the military, it was there's no girls. Like
Oh, ain't no girly
everybody
girls.
men. Man, I remember the first day it was throwing our bags off the truck, right? It was throwing our bags off the truck. I'm trying to help the girls with their bags. Man, drill sergeant threw that junk. Hey, ain't no girls here. I'm like, dang, okay. But
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that even molded me into like when I got out, I was kind of treating women like
The
I well
same
not
way.
but I was treating like more feminine type women. I was trying to treat them like that too.
Yeah,
And you can't do that.
can't
I
do
can't
that.
I can't expect her to
Yeah,
hey go downstairs, go to the go to the trunk and grab the waters up. Like, nah, that's me. I got you. Like, don't
yeah,
worry about that.
yeah.
So
So it's
yeah.
like we have to really program ourselves to the reality that we're living in, if
Mm,
that makes sense.
mm-hmm.
Because the
Yeah.
reality is, in your reality in the prison, in not prison, in military, not prison,
Which is
in
pretty like
military.
prison, let's be real.
In your reality was that women, they can do it too.
Mm-hmm.
But in the reality of your reality now that you're living in, is you have to be, you know what, I am the man. Certain things I don't want her to do.
Yeah,
So
for
I
sure.
feel like,
For sure.
and I feel like that's the same thing with me. So I feel like, like you were saying, Symone, I know it's not about women, but as a man, we have to continuously program ourselves dealing with women, dealing with people, and I'm even go there. I'm sorry, Symone. I'm gonna even go there. We have to be at a place where we reprogram ourselves dealing with people day in and day out,
Mm-hmm.
because every person we run to is not the same. Every male, because Dan, he's a male, I'm a male. If we in the same room, we both might have different emotions. I have to be able to love on him, he have to be able to love on me in the place that I'm at
Yeah.
that moment,
Yeah.
not where I assume a male should be. I'm 30, he's 28. He might be further along financially than I am, but in reality, as a male being 30, I'm supposed to be further along than him. But with pride would say, you got to teach him stuff. He can't teach you nothing. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
What? He might be able to
That's
teach
the
me stuff.
reality.
He probably could teach me stuff my teachers in high school could teach me.
Mhm.
But I feel like we have to be able to be okay with. Sorry to go back to that. That's pride.
Oh
We
yeah.
have to be okay to die to pride to be able to live in a world with other people.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree. I definitely agree because a lot of times, and you said this and it stuck with me because, excuse me, I don't think when it comes to reaching back, I think that it has failed as a whole, not just in men. I feel like it's women, older men. I feel like across the board, there's no more reaching
Especially
back.
in the black community.
Especially there's no village anymore. It's just village people living their lives. Like
Yeah.
there's no more. Let me help you. This is wisdom. This like there's no more of that, and that just it's just
You
crazy
you
to me. I'm sorry. I'm
you know
very
what I think.
passionate about that.
You know what I think the reason for that is I think I think one of the reasons is definitely the internet. Um you like you might have a older person in your life who hasn't gone outside of the city, and you going to X, Y, and Z place, they can't tell you nothing. You
Right.
gotta humble yourself. You gotta humble yourself. Even when I was out, I'm sorry to keep going back to my little army stories, but even when I was in Korea, they raise everybody like you said. It's literally a village. Like when you're a child. I'm sorry. Even when I get on the subway in Korea, if an old person comes in, if you don't get up and give them your seat, everybody in there looking at you crazy. Like, you better
Not
respect
supposed
your
to be.
elders. We don't respect our elders no more. because we think we know everything.
That's true.
So, all right, I'm done.
That is true. I agree. Okay, so I have one more topic, and then we're gonna close out. Um, so y'all are both husbands.
Hmm.
So no, I'm not even gonna go into that. I'm gonna go into this first. So when you leave, what's the reality? What is the real reality of a man that you fear going to work, between going to work and coming home from work? In between those time spans, what is the real reality of the fear that you may face or you feel other men may face? Because sometimes I'm gonna be real, we as women, we don't understand the value of someone coming home.
Mm.
The reality of, okay, he doing the work, he done did this, and he still made it home safe at night. To some women, it's, oh, you made it home, go get kids. I want your attention. I want this. I want that. Like, what are some, being like the reality? What are some things that y'all fear or go through from going to work? Well, some of y'all probably, some people work at home due to the pandemic, and then coming home.
Mm.
I feel
Jarrell, you
like
could go first.
I was gonna
Oh,
say
you.
honestly, you said it. The fear is not making it home.
Mm.
Whether it's not making it home because of death, or not making it home because of the police. Like as a male, like is a shame that that we should even be able to have that conversation about being afraid of the police. Being afraid of
Mm,
being pulled over and stopped by the police. But I feel like beyond that is just the reality that one day I might not wake up or make it home.
Mm.
One day, I pray that's another 100 years from now, but
right.
it's the reality. One day is going to happen, and I feel like that's like the biggest thing. Or coming home and your home is not how it was when you left.
Mm.
I'm gonna just say that much.
Mm.
I'm gonna just say that the fear of coming home, your home is not how your home was when you left. If you
Oh,
picking up what I'm putting down, go ahead,
my
amen.
brother's
Amen.
contagious.
Amen. Amen.
Uh,
I,
for real.
I feel you. I
That's
feel
how.
you.
I'm about to catch a case.
Yeah.
Amen. Um, so I feel like those things are like is a fear, and I feel like as you said about being married. I can go and touch just to dab in that. Is like I feel like because as a male, I'm aware of my fears, my emotions. I am aware of my anxieties and certain things. I voice my opinion with my wife, but it's still a reality that somebody else is still trying to, one day will try to talk to my wife if I'm not around.
Mm.
And one of my fears with that is she's happy enough with me that another dude can come around and say one. Well, if she's not happy with me, a dude can come around and say one word and take my whole family away from me
Mm.
because he said one thing. That's why for
Mm,
me, I on a daily basis, I try to pour into my wife that baby, you're beautiful. I love you. Dealing with things, when it comes down to, the bedroom, make sure all of her fantasies or everything that she desire is met. I'm not going into details, of course. Everything is being met because that's how it's supposed to be
Yeah.
as a man.
right.
But the thing is, as men, we're not taught that. We're taught just do what we can and that's it.
Get
No,
yours.
that's yours. She ain't going nowhere. That's a lie. That is a bold faced lie. But you
I
have
mean, I
to.
mean, I agree. I agree.
That's why you got to, as a man, the fear, as I stated, of leaving and coming back, my home not being the same. But also the reality of it is, if I leave my home well equipped, I don't have to worry about that.
Mm.
So I feel like that's just the fear. I'm talking about me personally. That making sure when I leave, that my house is that my house, meaning my wife, is so secure. Well, is secure, covered, protected enough that if I leave, I will come home and I will know that nothing has been contagious in my house.
Mm, okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
Then
Then understand what I'm saying. I need it.
I understand what you're saying, but that's not one of my fears, to be honest with you. I think so. My job right now, I'm basically in sales, so you gotta work for your money. It ain't like you just sitting around getting a check.
Mhm.
So one of my fears is that I ain't got enough. I can't bring in the rent
Yeah.
or whatever. So that's one of my fears, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, I think another fear for me is and I don't know if this deals with like, nah, never mind. Another one of my fears is I used to suffer. Nah, I used to really like battle depression, and I sometimes I fear that I might slip into that again. But talking to my wife and really communicating how I feel about certain things, I feel like that's a great avenue. Being vulnerable with her and her accepting me as I am. So yeah,
okay,
What was
so
said, Simone, in the comments that made you laugh?
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm so
I saw
sorry.
that.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to look, but it came up, and I'm like, okay. I'm sorry, then. So,
what did it say? Cause
Jarrell, your wife says you fear your wife cheating on you, bro.
no, not no. It's not saying it's a fear. I don't mean by a fear. I mean, I what Simone, I'm never coming on your lives again. Okay?
Listen, that's
No, I don't mean. I don't
no.
mean.
It ain't my fault. It's
No,
not
I
my
know. I
fault.
know. No, I don't mean as a fear of her cheating on me. I mean like. I mean more so like the reality of things as a man. If you're not doing what you got to do, can't. So it's not a fear of mine because that's what I was saying was it can become a fear.
Right.
But that's why I do what I do and overdo sometimes to the point of loving on her more
Mhm,
or going above and beyond to make sure those things don't happen
mhm.
because
I
it
think she
can.
missed that part.
No, she gets it every day. So that's what
No,
I'm
I
saying.
think she
Like
missed
it's
that part when you said it because
oh she
her
missed that part.
saying
Oh
that.
okay. Oh, okay, yeah. She partially did because that's the reality of it. Like the reality, is somebody asks why do men cheat, and they also ask why do women cheat. Women sometimes cheat because they not getting the attention or they're not getting certain things that they need at home. So I feel like a fear of mine is not doing what she needs. Then that can eventually leads not to cheating, but even a dude jumping in her inbox. For a perfect example, I used to be a youth pastor. When it came down to the girls, I used to always tell the girls at the church, "You're beautiful. I love you." And one girl was like, "Well, I got a date and such coming up." And I said, "If he come to your house and don't open your door, go back in the house, call me. I come pick you up and take you on a date." And the
Mm,
reason why I did that was because it's setting a standard for females. And I feel like for me in my household, I set that standard with my wife as well by calling her, even though she knows it, but I still do those things that I would if I had a daughter. Because it's
Right.
those things, some dudes feed on females like that. I don't know if you ever seen the movie Temptation. No,
Men
yeah,
prey on
Temptation.
weak women, and
They
women don't
they
understand that. But
do.
that's a whole nother conversation
That's a
for
whole
a
nother
whole nother
conversation.
time.
Whole nother one. So that's why I said what I said, because I never want a dude to ever see my wife and think that she's not strong. Now, player. That's I know I can't say this on here, but I'm gonna say it. That's a real nigga in there. I ain't worried about her. I ain't worried about her cheating or stepping out. But I still, because reality is reality, I still do those things. I hope that makes sense. But
Right.
I love you,
She
babe.
said, okay. She said, okay, I did. She, you
I love
good,
you,
you
babe.
good. Okay, so I'm gonna read some of these comments real quick because I kind of been glancing at them. Then I'm gonna ask y'all the final question, then we're gonna close out. So she said, all things, girl, I have to keep him right.
Can you block her?
Julissa, you cutting up. Taylor said, y'all are such a beautiful couple. I enjoyed y'all when y'all were on Diary Wednesday. She said she loves
Appreciate
you
it.
cornbread. Smiley Peak said my father used to tell me that, but I didn't do it. Smiley Peak also said a great man. Smiley Peak said that's a good fear. Somebody said D Dolores Silva Dolores. I might be saying it wrong. She said, "Speak it, nephew. God bless." I don't know which one of y'all is her
Oh,
nephew,
that's
and I
probably
know I
my
just said her
auntie.
name wrong.
So I ain't got no
That's,
Lord.
yeah, not yeah. That's I
It's
think that's my
VDOLORES.
yeah. That's not her. Yeah, that's my auntie.
Okay, so she was talking to you. Delisa also said she's very much girly, but she could play ball. She
Mm.
said, "Hey, Sugar Plum." She said men have insecurities. Kayla had asked you a question when you were talking about when you said that you had addiction to porn. She was, I guess, she was saying, "What are others?" Because you said others. So then she was like, "What are others?" That was her question,
Uh,
I think. Or Kayla, if you're still in here, do you remember what you meant? Because I know she said it when you were talking in that moment, but I didn't read it at that time.
okay. So I think when she was saying what are some others, I think she was saying, oh, okay. Look, I like the little.
Oh
Yeah,
Yeah,
shoot! I just
no.
learned
yeah. I just know that's
Okay. All
okay.
right.
Okay.
Uh, I, that's a really vague question because again, we didn't know when that came up. So I'm assuming that she was asking what other, um, what was the question? What insecurities or I forgot what the question was. Oh no, I remember the question. The question was what other or what things that men, yeah. Oh, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember what I was asking. Yeah,
I
it.
ain't
I
know
think it was
either.
false realities.
there it is. There it
That was the
is. I was trying to
question.
word that. And I think we did talk about that. That men are dogs and thugs and
Yeah,
sugar
we did.
type dudes. So yeah, we covered that.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah, we covered because then Symone asked, and I was saying that I was actually just about to say that. So yeah,
yeah.
Okay, so she don't remember. So Lakeisha, she did say we do, but lesser. I do understand what you're saying. She was talking about when I said that the fears of a man and a woman, what we face,
yeah,
are different.
Mm.
Um, I make them crazy. It'll make
It'll
them
make.
crazy. Less anger in this world. You speaking. That's right. That's what she said
yeah.
to
I
me
like
then when
this.
you was
This should
talking
have been
about the
like this the whole
order.
time.
I know. Right?
I don't know how to do
Well,
Yeah.
that.
no,
I haven't done my
I don't
research.
like. I don't like to read comments while I'm talking because then I'll
Oh
be.
yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
right.
that's why
Yeah,
I
you
don't
Yeah.
right.
pop them up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we'll be in the middle of
Kayla,
talking and and just look down. So you're right.
Yeah.
right? Because I was reading them. That's why I got distracted. But Kayla said when you were talking about the order of like how the covenant should be, she said that's right. That's what God's word said it should be,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. So that's all comments for now. So the final and the last questions. If y'all have questions, comments, please. How do I take this off? This there we go. If y'all have
Yeah,
questions,
thank you.
comments, please um drop them below. But my final question is, and like I said, this has been men has been the topic all month. We talked about the vulnerability, we talked about the value of a black man, we talked about the expectations and the reality of a man. No, the expectations and the real pressures of a man. And
Mm-hmm.
tonight we're ending with what is the reality of a man. So I both want to ask you, as women, we have, like I said, as women, we have our own definition. The world has their own definition. To you, what is the reality of a man when it comes to emotions, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to helping others, when it comes to the way God sees us and has created us? What do you feel the reality of a man really is for once and for all? I'm gonna start with you first, Dan.
Okay. So the reality of a man is, we are image bearers of God. God created us to have dominion over this earth, and we are to be a reflection of His Son. That means that we should show grace to people, regardless if we have the same ideologies or not. We ought to show grace to them. Um, we ought to be a reflection of His life, and we are to live according to his word. By us living according to his word, we're worshiping him and therefore being a light in this dark world.
Amen. We are the head and not the tail.
Mm-hmm.
We are the lender and not the borrower.
Go ahead.
I feel like as a man, we are like as my brother said, we are image bearers of who God is. We are the salt of this world.
Mm,
We are light to darkened places. We are an
Mm.
example. We are a walking biblical. We are a walking apostle. We're who people look at. We are strong. We are powerful. We are anointed. We're just amazing men and we're just amazing people in general.
yeah.
And as he said, that God has given us dominion and power. So I feel like we are who God says we are. We're not what this world says. We're not what society says we are. And I feel like that the reality of the man is just that. We are men. We're human. We're
Mm-hmm.
not, even though we're strong, powerful, we're not superheroes. We're not people. We are not emotionless. We have emotions. We deal with our emotions. We are men that have frustrations. We have anger. We have doubt. We have fears. We have insecurities. We are all that, but we also
Mm.
own that, and we
Mm.
speak those things that's not as though they were, and we speak life and not death. We use our tongue to build and not tear down.
Mm,
I'm gonna stop right there.
mm.
All right,
I got a
Pastor Ray.
question for you, Simone. What have you learned? Yeah. I got a question for
They
you.
don't never come with questions for me. Okay,
Yeah, no,
I'm ready.
I got a question for you. So, what have you learned this month
Yeah,
about men that you didn't know?
yeah, that's good. That's a good question there.
The main thing I've learned from men that I didn't know is that we have to stop assuming that we know what men go through. We
Mm,
have to stop assuming that a man is not vulnerable. We have to stop assuming that the value of a black man is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We have to stop assuming and putting pressures in our own expectations on a man, because sometimes when we think we're helping that man, we are becoming a problem to that man. So instead of instead of us saying, having conversations about men, this is what I learned. This is the biggest thing I learned. Instead of having conversations about a man, have conversations with them. The way
mm,
to change is through dialogue. Whether that
mm,
person receives what you're saying or not does not matter. But in order for a plant to grow, you have to sow that seed first. The seed
mm,
has to be planted first. Whatever happens after that, the water, the sun, and all of that, is beyond you. But as women, we have to take a step because we don't understand the power we truly possess when it comes to men and the impact we have on them. Sometimes this is my thing with men. This is what I learned. It starts at home, but after that, every woman that a man encounter, it starts with them.
mm. That's good. That's good. I
Look at you growing up. I'm proud of you, Simone.
know,
Listen,
right?
I've been listening. I've been listening, and I'm not gonna lie. I I get convicted in some of these conversations. So I'm working on me because a lot of times as women, we put these expectations and these standards on man to be this reality. And I know B Simone got backlash for this, but we have to be able to, like the Bible says, iron sharpens iron.
Mm-hmm.
You should be equally yoked. You have to be able to sharpen the iron of your man, of anyone, not even just it being a spouse. If a man comes
Mm-hmm.
to your life as a friend, we have to not we have to learn to normalize that you don't have to romanticize everything.
Mm.
Like man
Yeah.
was created, but we were created as helpmates. As being a helpmate to a man, it could just be speaking life into him, something he may not ever encounter. It could just be, and sometimes we don't understand as women, other men can lift other men up as well. But the power that a woman possesses is, no offense, it's a bit more powerful than what men have within them. We don't know how much power we truly possess when it comes to a man. And the
Mm.
way we use it sometimes is detrimental.
And it starts off with telling us the truth. You heard me?
I agree.
We have to tell y'all have to tell us the truth. A lot of women they try to pacify because like everything we just talked about, they try to pacify because they feel like, oh, I don't want him to be emotional. I don't want him to feel no type of way. I don't want him to feel bad. No, tell me the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the truth. If it hurt my feelings, I'll be all right. I'll
Right.
probably go on there. I sit there. I ain't gonna talk to you for a while, but I will get over it if you tell me
Right.
the truth. And I feel like you said, as a woman, every relationship that you encounter dealing with a male, I'm encourage every woman to tell us the truth. Don't sugarcoat because as men we get lied to, we get told different stuff, we get things be
Hmm.
sugarcoated to us so much that we don't want that from y'all. We don't want that from our spouses or our sisters or our friends. Tell us the truth. Be honest with us.
Oh, oh,
I agree.
Oh,
I
that's your
definitely agree.
wife.
We have to.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
man.
his wife.
Oh,
We have to have those honest conversations, and I'm not gonna lie. In having these conversations all month, I realized that we don't have those honest conversations. As women,
don't.
we want a man to talk to us, and I can't lie. All my guys are like, yeah, my woman to be like, talk to me, but when I talk to her, she be like, ain't nothing wrong with her. You have ladies, we have to stop doing it. The
Yeah,
man
Got you.
can't read your mind. He probably not gonna put up with your attitude for too long. So have those conversations. Let
7
that man
years,
in.
Jesus.
We attack each other. We're not each other's enemies.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Oh, one thing,
Like,
one
come
thing
on.
that one thing that me and my wife do that I implore everybody to do, whether you're in a relationship or not. You can do this with your friends. You can do this with if you're in a relationship. But once a month, sometimes we do it more than that. But once a month, we ask, what can we do to better our relationship? Like I'll ask, what have I done this month that hurt you, and how can I make it better? And she does the same. So I think that's something that friends should do. I think that's something that relationships should do.
Mhm.
Family members too. Yeah, like I think family members we don't
Yeah,
talk to our families like that anymore, like we used to. So I think that's something
yeah.
that we should implement as well. So yeah.
I definitely
Also,
agree.
just one
So
more thing. I'm sorry. You just said something that made me think about this. When my wife and I, when we was on, we talked about love language.
Mm.
As a man,
We
make
did a
sure you
video on
know.
that. But go ahead. Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Oh,
did a
yeah.
video on that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
have to know your love language.
Hmm.
I didn't know my love language. And once I figured my love language and I learned my wife love language, I felt that the problem was I was trying to love her
Her
the
like
way
you
I
wanted to be
wanted to
loved.
be loved.
Yep,
And she was trying
yep,
to love me the way she wanted to be loved.
yep,
It wasn't until we learned each other love language that it was like, no, you don't want this.
yeah,
I want this.
hmm
yep.
Let me love you.
hmm
And she taught me that, and I thank God for her because she did teach me that love language ain't just about husband and wife. It's
No,
about
no,
relationships,
for sure.
friendships.
right.
And we have to be able to have that love language because I might be able to call you and be like, hey, bro, let's go out. But your your love language is words of affirmation, just saying. And we
Mm.
go out, and the whole time I'm trying to buy you stuff, trying to buy you gifts. I'm trying
Yeah,
to
I
pay
don't
for the
like that.
food. I got this, I got
I
that.
don't
Don't
like
worry
that.
about it. But yeah, but in reality, all you need is me to say, bro, I'm proud of you. You're doing a great job. I'm grateful for you as a brother. That's
Hmm.
all you need. And from there, I not will be perfect.
Yeah,
But until I can learn your love language, I won't be able to love you as a brother the way you need to be loved.
yeah, yeah,
And so I feel like to end this, or however you want to end it, as brothers, we need to know each other love language. We got
for
to know
sure.
our brothers, and we got to be real with ourselves and be real with our brothers. Bro, I love
Hmm.
you,
Hmm
and I'm gonna love you the way you need to be loved.
For sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
I agree.
And I need
And
your
I'm gonna say this.
information, bro, so we can chop it up a little bit more.
Facts. I got
Okay.
you. I got you.
Oh, look at that. Anyways, but one more comment, and then we're gonna. Kayla said, Conviction helps us correct and grow.
Yeah,
Uncomfortable at first, but necessary. I agree.
necessary.
I
That's
definitely
real. That's real.
It's
agree.
necessary.
And
Yeah.
Shaniqua said exactly communication is key instead of assuming. Jaleesa, amen. Simone talks. Thank y'all. Y'all know I'm not here learning. You saw what your wife said. I love you, Dan. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, Jocelyn. And
Aw.
Jaleesa said, "Oh, y'all listen. Black love is beautiful. I'm just gonna say it.
Wait,
Black love
is
is
that
beautiful.
wait?
Huh?
Jocelyn Hart
Yeah,
Yeah.
from Tallahassee, the singer?
Yeah.
Sus! No, I did not know that all this time. Okay. Now I see your face now because I seen on her face.
Jaleesa. Oh my
Y'all
God,
hear that?
we're not going.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going. Anyway, but he
Sorry,
said,
that was
he said,
run.
hey
I
girl,
didn't
hey,
know.
you're so pretty. Listen, I love your natural hair. I need those. I'm a. We're gonna talk when I get off here. But
Y'all heard Jalissa?
no, I didn't. She said,
She talking.
bro. What she
No,
said?
Jalissa in the back there talking about. She talking about. I know that man don't know my wife. No, that
Jaleesa.
that was.
Oh my,
Listen,
she's so ratchet.
your wife would tell you that was my dog. That was my dog in
Yeah.
college. That was my dog.
Yeah.
But what else? Oh yeah, y'all both of y'all. I'm so happy and I'm so proud of y'all marriage. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was scared of marriage. Still have my moments, but seeing your marriages, especially Dan, we're in the same age group, and
Yeah.
Jarrell, you're a little bit seasoned. I'm gonna say no offense. Don't take that the wrong way. Don't take that the wrong way. See, you know what? You're in our generation as well. So
Yeah. Yeah. You a millennial?
you're a millennial, but you
Yeah.
know what I mean. You have a little bit more wisdom than us. Dang, stop doing that. Um,
I do got some
y'all
gray
give me
hairs up
hope.
in here, so
Y'all give me hope. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all really give me hope when it comes to marriage and relationships. And the men that's out there that will grow and get it together. Julissa, I'm sorry. But I do want to end off like I do this every segment. This is gonna be a close out. What are 1 to 5 things that you each want listeners and everyone that's tuning in tonight to take away from tonight's conversation?
Mm.
Jarrell, I'm gonna let you go first.
yeah, I was gonna say just love for one, love us the way we need to be loved as men. For two, realize that we're human, we're not perfect, we are going to mess up. Three, I feel like as men, we need to step up and be men to one another. You know, like we said earlier, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to be a man as well. It takes a
Mm-hmm.
village to continue to strive and thrive in this society. Three, um, with being a man, I also feel that we need to be able to pull one another. You know, if I see the Bible talks about that if your brother down, you who are spiritual, pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
You who's strong spiritually, pick them behind up. And I
Yeah.
feel like as a brother, if you're stronger, let's say if you're good with finances and your brother struggling with his finances, pick that brother up. If you're
Yeah.
good with communication and your brother struggle with being open with communication, pick that brother up. I feel like with anything that we do, pick your brother up. Pick that man up. Don't be afraid. Pick him up. He needs you.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's good. It's
Right,
good
Dan?
stuff. For me, I got 3 books that I think that every man should read, but I think women should read it. One of them definitely women should read, but 3 books that everybody should read. That's the Bible. That's the Bible. I promise you that's the blueprint. That
Mm-hmm.
answers a lot of questions. If you wondering what your purpose is and all that, the Bible got it for you. Number 2, highly recommend reading Manhood Restored by Pastor Eric Mason. Number 3, As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. And those are the 3 books. Let me see what else. Um, like Jarrell said, surround yourself around people that want to see you thrive.
Yeah.
Um, Because some people they'll say, oh, we gotta be around people that hold us accountable, and some people that hold you accountable are doing it out of bitterness. So
Yeah,
so make sure you around people who actually want to see you thrive,
yeah,
and that's all I got.
yeah.
Okay,
No,
okay,
those
y'all
those
did.
that labor amongst you. I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people be wool and sheep clothing.
Mm-hmm.
So discernment is everything. Kayla said, "This is the last comment I'm going to read." She said, "Yes, all this beautiful black love. We love to see it.
For
Definitely,
sure.
it is. It is definitely beautiful." Do y'all have any closing remarks y'all want to say before I close out? Anything else?
Nice meeting you, Dan. Thank you for having me, Simone.
Likewise, man. Likewise. Come a long way, Symone, man. Hey, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. Yeah, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for
I can
sure.
tell
Yeah,
stories,
if
but
you
we gonna
if
leave
you
that
knew
alone.
me before you know me
Yeah, nah, for real. For
For
real.
real, for real. Thank God for it. Lift your hands and tell him thank you, Simone. Just lift your hands and tell him thank you.
Then you know I've come. The Lord has truly, 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 truly did some work in me. I could tell you, listen, I could talk about myself. Before I could talk, I say this all the time. Before I could talk about anybody else, I talk about myself. And I was a mess. I was a hot mess. The Lord's still working on me. I'm not perfect. I'm
Oh, for sure.
gonna
Yeah.
throw that disclaimer out there.
We
It's
not a finished
constant
work
work
until we
every
leave this
day.
earth. So yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But thank y'all so much. I really truly enjoyed both of you tonight. You both y'all shed so much light and wisdom tonight in tonight's conversation. One, make sure y'all go support Dan and buy some of the hair products. The isn't it beard products as well?
We do beard, we do hair. Hey, the
I
wife
need it.
started it, so hey. Matter of fact, man, y'all can follow her. She do music and all that too. She
Yeah.
fired with the YouTube and everything. Her name is Jocelyn Hart. Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it's
Yeah, so
blackoftheberryco.com. That's where you can get if you need beard oil, we got you. If you're trying to grow your hair out, you got the little receding hairline, we can bring it back for you. But yeah.
Thank God I ain't there yet.
Yeah, no. You ain't
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
ain't there yet. Thank God. I
there.
ain't that
you
old
saying
yet,
that. Don't
Lord.
speak that into
No.
existence now.
No, I'm not there at
You talk
all. But
about there yet.
yeah, I definitely going to support. I definitely want some beard oil.
Appreciate that. Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
okay. And make sure y'all connect with Dan. Make sure y'all go show Jarrell, Pastor Red some support. Like I said, book a photo shoot, get a custom watch, get a custom pillow, get a custom shirt, get some custom drawers. He does it all, man. Go show
I
him
do
some
all that.
support. And his wife Jaleesa, she be out here slaying them braids. So make sure y'all go support them and also support the women in their life behind them, building them, pouring into them, and
For
helping them
sure.
come into the reality of the man that they really are, and not the reality of of what the world is saying a man should be. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thank y'all for tuning in every Wednesday. I know y'all probably like, this girl get on here every week. Yes, I do. Um, Also for the next 30 days, like I said, April is Mental Health Awareness Month for minorities. So starting tomorrow, it will be day one of my 30-day
Mm.
self-love challenge. So y'all pray for me. I'm trying my best to go the full
What
30
what what what
days.
is that? What does that entail?
So it's every day I'm going to drop a challenge or something for us to do together to show ourselves self-love, because a lot of times we think it's selfish to put ourselves first. We think it's selfish to show ourselves love. But
Mm.
the truth is that you can't love anybody else. You can't do anything for anybody else if you aren't right with yourself first. You're gonna bleed on everybody else if you don't get you together first. So starting tomorrow, it will be day one. So make sure y'all tune in, join the challenge, so show support. And I'm gonna be dropping mental health awareness tips, information all week. And next month, every Wednesday is all mental health. Because like they said in the black community, especially in men, women, we can talk about our mental health. And I'm gonna end after this because I'm getting long-winded. But men, all of my friends say, I'm not going to therapy. I'm not crazy. I can't do that. I want to change that stigma. It's
Please,
nothing wrong with seeking therapy.
please.
It's nothing wrong with seeking outside help to deal with the traumas that you've been through. It's actually strengthened that. It's
Yeah.
strengthened seeking help, proper help, instead of going outside and seeking other things. Is actually strength. and not weakness. So y'all stay tuned for that as well. And once again, thank you so much, Dan and Jarrell, for coming on Daddy Wednesday tonight. I have to have y'all back. I want to do a reunion of all the men from this month so we can have a big conversation on it all.
That would be
So
dope.
I will be connected with y'all in the next couple of months. And thank you everyone for tuning in. I love y'all. Go show them support. Go show their wives support. Show me some support. Oh yeah, I was in my first featured in my first magazine, and I'm done. So make sure y'all go buy the
Yeah,
digital copy
congrats.
or buy the printed copy. Don't be so support. Spend $7 to $8, maybe plus shipping. Spend like $10 to $15 and show your girls some love and support. Oh yeah, thank you, and good night. We out.
Good night.
Hey.